Hello guys, Solitude Gamer here, and today I'll be reviewing Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse. This is not the sequel to Shin Megami Tensei 4 game. It's set in an alternative version where the events differ from that of the previous game. The main character from the previous game hasn't completely defeated Lucifer and Merkaba yet. This time, there's a new main character called Nanashi, and a third faction called the Divine Powers. The Divine Powers' true goal is unknown at first. I was excited to play this game for the most part because the game mechanics in the previous game was really fun to play through. I couldn't wait to see what will be added to the already great game mechanics. In this game, you barely explore the kingdom of Mikado. Instead, much time is spent in Tokyo, and while it was great seeing places like Ginza and Shibuya again, I was disappointed I didn't get to see new areas. It was like the same place all over again. This game almost felt exactly the same as the last game, but there were added features in gameplay that made the game more enjoyable to play through. There is an assist gauge where your partners can perform an ultimate attack on the enemy when the gauge fills up completely. I really like this as this adds another element in playing your attacks and strategy. You don't want to waste such a powerful move on a weak opponent. You want to save it for a powerful boss. So a smart thing to do is make sure you can beat these weak opponents quickly so that this ultimate attack can be saved for the boss. This ultimate attack can really save you during fights, as the bosses lose one turn from it. I never once died from a boss fight, which I found amazing. Another thing that I liked about this game was that there is a red flag on the screen in order to show the player where to go next. Of course, it doesn't tell you where to go for everything, but it does help you save a lot of time, especially when you're moving your icon across the world map. The best thing that changed about the gameplay was that Hama and Mudo skills don't kill your characters and demons right away. I cannot tell you how many times I raged in the previous game because my character would get ambushed and then a demon would use Mudo or Hama to kill my character right away. Or when bosses had Mudo or Hama skills and then they would kill my characters and demons right away. In order for Hama and Mudo skills to kill someone instantly, the character has to have a smirk. Otherwise, damage is based on a magic stat, which I really like because now Hama and Mudo aren't useless skills against bosses. You can actually use them against bosses now. It made a decision to keep Hama and Mudo skills much easier. I would have just discarded them right away in the past, but now it's useful. This is the first time in the Persona or Shin Megami Tensei game that I've seen Mudo and Hama be useful against a boss. That was pretty cool. Another great thing this game improved upon from the last game is taking quests. Now, you don't have to go to Hunter Association every time to take quests. They are automatically given to you. This saves a lot of time. Like, let's say I'm in an area where I could complete a quest. In this game, I could complete it right there. In the last game, if I completed requirements for the quest, but didn't accept the quest at the Hunter Association, then I have to do it again, and that was annoying. I'm glad this game got rid of that annoying accepting quests at the Hunter Association feature. A great thing about the fusions in this game is that demons now have skill affinities. So a demon that has an affinity for fire should probably have fire skills. It makes it easier to decide which skills pass on, and it makes you think a lot more. I also like they could talk to your demons now, and that they could give you items. The app system was improved as well, because now you don't have to spend app points on something like language with certain demons, and that was a relief. I couldn't afford that app in the last game, and it caused me to miss out on so many demons. I'm so glad that you don't need to spend precious app points on something like that. The only new thing about the gameplay that I didn't like was the introduction of the Jade Dagger. Basically, Navarre is a ghost in this game, so you have to rely on him to break certain things for you in this game so you can move forward. The thing about that is, you have to find a flower that can fill up Navarre's dagger, and then you can break that wall that's in your way. It was annoying trying to find a flower though. I just wish Navarre could use his dagger without energy. The Divine Powers were an interesting faction in this game. They were mysterious, and it was really a mystery what the villain Krishna was planning. It wasn't like he was trying to destroy everything and leave it as destroyed. He had a greater goal. Dogda was a pretty cool character as well. You couldn't tell what was on his mind. He didn't seem to align himself with any faction, and you don't know what crazy thing he's going to plan at the end of the game, because You know he's gonna do something really crazy, but you just don't know what. It was so cool that you got to see the main character from the last game join in on the fights in this game as well. I liked how everyone respected him and cheered him on. Another major thing I liked about this game was that it had a proper final boss fight for the neutral path. The lack of amazing boss fight for the neutral path in the last game was very disappointing. I'm glad they fixed that in this game. I wasn't a big fan of the plot in this game. It was the same as the plot for many games, books, and anime series, which is humans must forge their own path and not be forced to follow whatever God wants them to do. I get that this game was trying to be deep, but when you see the same kind of plot over and over, it gets tiring. My biggest complaint about this game was that the Cosmic Egg Dungeon and the YHVH Universe Dungeon took way too long to explore. It was hours and hours of trying to figure out where to go. And if you don't use a walkthrough, it takes a ridiculous amount of time to know where to go. I don't know why game developers think long dungeons where you have to do various tasks is a good thing. It just makes the game feel like a chore to complete. Why not just keep it short and simple like Persona 4 did? Now that was a game where I enjoy exploring the dungeons. You know where to go, and it doesn't take too long to complete. I want to play a game like this for the gameplay, not for the puzzles and long dungeon exploring. I just want to fight the main bosses and the major boss of each dungeon. The many hours I had spent on the last two dungeons was so boring, and I just wanted the game to end already. The graphics and music was the same as the last game, and I'm glad they kept it the same. The graphics already look great, no need to change it. Overall, this was an amazing video game playthrough. It takes the gameplay mechanics from the last game and vastly improves on it. The villains aren't cliche villains either, that just want to rule over the world or completely destroy it just for fun. The only major complaint I have about this game is that the last two dungeons in Neutral Path lasted way too long. I give this game a 9 out of 10. So, that's all I want to talk about for today. Thank you for watching the video. Have a great day or night wherever you are. And please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And please comment if you found anything interesting in the video.